Last night, Brian Boitano returned to Landover to regain a title he thought he owned. Great expectations for himself and from his fans. Then the unthinkable. Now he's in third place. Last year, Kurt Browning did what was once considered unbelievable, defeating Brian Boitano in Brian's house. Tonight, Kurt Browning is in the lead, defending his title. In second place, Victor Petrenko. He's never been so close. Kristi Yamaguchi, the ladies' leader. Mistakes have left the two-time champion vulnerable.
Packed house in Landover, Maryland, where the empty ice awaits the skaters for the conclusion of the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Landover. Tom Hammond and Rosalind Sumners, as tonight we crown the world professional champions in pairs, dance, ladies, and men's singles. We'll be bringing you the artistic programs worth 50% of the final score. And Rosalind, last night in the technical program, we saw Kristi Yamaguchi skate certainly not her best, but well enough to take a pretty sizable lead. Can anybody catch her?
Well, Kristi made some mistakes on some very easy jumps. She's very disappointed in herself. She can keep the lead, but for her own self-respect and for herself, she has to skate with an inspired, solid performance. She's going to have to be on top of her game so the other girls can't catch her.
And in the men's competition, what a shock to see Brian Boitano down in the standings. And I guess for Kurt Browning, it's pretty much his to lose.
Well, we've never seen Brian Boitano fall. We've never seen him look so flat, so uninspired. Kurt Browning went out. He set the pace for the men with a solid, clean performance. He's on a high. He has the best artistic performance he's ever had planned tonight. And Victor and Brian are going to have a hard time catching up to Kurt.
But the pair skaters are on the ice first, and we could be seeing the end of an era tonight. And for more on that, let's go to Elfie Schlegel.
Thanks, Tom. Well, after a 20-year partnership, it all comes down to this very special number. Not a day goes by is the title of Underhill and Martini's artistic program. They have won this event 7 times in their 10 years they have appeared here in Landover. Barb says this is one of the toughest programs she has ever skated. In fact, she was quite emotional when she was telling me about it the other day. It's a personal program. It's a selfish choice, they both say, because this is not for the audience. This number is for Barb and Paul.
After the technical program, Underhill and Martini were in second place. Betsky and Petrov with a sizable lead heading to this artistic program. And since the skaters skate in reverse order of their standings after the technical program, it means Tovarakova and Novotny will skate first, the defending champions who had their problems in the technical skate.
And their romantic artistic program, variations on a theme of Paganini by Rachmaninoff.
And that first mishap ending any hope they may have had of repeating as champions here. From the Czech Republic, Kovarakova and Renee Novak. They won the championship here last year. They will not repeat.
Well, Tom, they were pretty far behind in the technical marks. This program just didn't have the maturity to pull them up.
A beautiful piece of music they selected, but if you're going to take music that beautiful, your choreography has to be up to it, and in some cases it was not.
And with a little insecurity on the choreography, they chose to put in a throw triple sow, and even though this isn't a technical program, a mistake is costly. It hurts the pace of the program.
And really, they haven't grown much from last year, and one wonders if winning the championship last year really retarded their progress.
Well, they didn't try anything new this year. They didn't change their music. They stuck with an old formula, and to compete in this group, you have to stretch as an artist.
There are two sets of marks, technical and artistic. Perfect score is a 10. High and low marks are thrown out.
9.7, 9.7, 9.7, and 9.7.
Now the second set of marks, the artistic, more valuable in the artistic program.
9.8, 9.8, 9.7, 9.8, 9.7, 9.7, and 9.8.
So a total of 97.3 for the defending champions.
Now, ladies and
And
gentlemen,
now for their farewell skate in Landover, Underhill
Martini.
and Martini. Their 20-year partnership has spanned personal tragedy, the death of one of Barbara's children. But here at Landover, mostly positive memories, including 7 World Pro titles. Their partnership perhaps summed up in their choice of music, Not a Day Goes By.
Not a day goes by, not a single day, somewhere off my life, and I need you to stay as the days go by. I keep thinking, when does it end? That it can't get much better, much longer. But it only gets better and stronger and deeper and nearer and simpler and freer and richer and clearer. And no, not a day goes by, not a blessed day, but you somewhere come into my life. And you don't go away, and I have to say, if you do, I'll die. I want day after day after day after day after day after day after day, till the day goes by.
Another pair team that for 20 years has skated with the passion and the intense connection of Barbie and Paul. This is a very emotional goodbye.
Not a blessed day, but you somewhere come into my life, and you don't go away. And I have to say, if you do, I'll die. I want day after day after day after day after day after day after day, till the days go by, till the days go by.
Underhill and Paul Martini.
A bittersweet moment for Barb and Paul.
The World Professional Figure Skating Championships are brought to you by NutraSweet. Sometimes it's nice to have something sweet.
Welcome back to the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, where Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini have just skated their final performance at this competition.
9.7, 9.8, 9.8, 9.7, and 9.8.
And considering all the emotion that's passed between these two and between them and the crowd, the marks really aren't that important. But very good artistic marks here, as you see.
9.8, 9.9,
And let's go to Elfie Schrager.
Barb and Paul, this is a very special number, obviously, for the two of you. What were you saying to each other out there?
It was very emotional. It was the kind of thing where it was almost too much in the groove. I think I was just right into the number and forgot I should have checked harder on the throw, but still it was a very special moment.
Paul, 20 years together.
Oh, 20 years is the best years of my life. I wouldn't do it again for any differently for anything in the world, and to come here and skate like this is just great.
You guys are great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And now the door is wide open for Elena Betsky and Dennis Petrov to claim their first World Professional title. 4 times here they have finished second. And skating to a piece of music called Romance.
Which is ironic because they are no longer married. And even with that separation emotionally, they have matured, they have grown, they work together, they tour together, and they are ready to win this title.
Elena Betsky and Dennis Petrov given a chance to win their first World Pro title, and they come through with a beautiful artistic program.
And they're winning it with a program with all the elements: technical, artistic, passion, and magic.
Watching this competition, though, one wonders about the depth of professional pair skaters. Is this discipline in a little bit of trouble?
It is, Tom. As the great personalities of the last 10 years retire, there are no new teams to challenge the innovation of Betsky and Petrov. Even in the amateur ranks, the teams are weak. Elena and Dennis are very much a part of the creative side of their programs, inventing new lifts and spins such as this right here. A seamless connection from the lift down his back, very unusual position, heading right into a spin. Different positions in the spin, a lift in the middle. Again, very creative, very different.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the technical marks.
And the scores, and these should just be a formality for Betsky and Petrov.
9.9.
And indeed,
9.9.
ensuring them the title. In fact, the judges were warned not to give gratuitous 10s. Looks like they took that to heart.
9.9.
Well, they deserve those marks across the board, and these should be just as high.
9.9. 9.9. 9.9. 9.9. 9.9. 9.9. And 9.9.
Elfie?
Elena, Dennis, congratulations. You have both been unbeatable this season, but this is your first World Professional title. How's it feel?
I'm very happy, extremely happy.
Tell me about the program.
I can't even describe how happy I am. And the program was good. We think it went fine, and I think we did it for each other, because that's what Dennis told me right before the program. Let's just do it for each other.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Betsky and Petrov break through with their first World Professional Championship. Still to be decided, the ladies' competition. Will Krista Yamaguchi regain her title? Or will Yuka Sato repeat? Welcome back to the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships. Tom Hammond, Rosalind Sumners, Elfie Schlegel. And backstage, Krista Yamaguchi and Katarina Witt await their turn on the ice for the artistic program. After the technical program, Krista Yamaguchi with the lead over Yuka Sato, Karen Kadavi, Katarina Witt, and Ekaterina Gordieva. They skate the artistic program in reverse order, so Ekaterina Gordieva will be on the ice first.
Now the ladies' competition begins with Ekaterina Gordieva.
Katya is not here tonight with hopes of winning this competition. In the technical program, she faced the memories of skating with her late husband, Sergei, in this same building. Now tonight, she can enjoy the performance and feel what it is to be a solo skater.
This music from the Peer Gynt Suite by Edvard Grieg seems perfectly suited for her.
Each performance as a solo skater gets easier and easier for Katya. This is the first time she clearly looks at ease out there by herself.
Still, she looks so fragile, almost like her young daughter, Daria.
Well, she may look fragile, Tom, but she has a strength well beyond her years.
For the heartache she's been through, you know that is true. And it must be so difficult because you can't even watch her as an observer and not think of Sergei Grinkov.
But she is choosing to skate so that we all will remember her and Sergei together.
And of course, her tender and inspirational book, My Sergei, A Love Story, continues to be a bestseller. It's been on the bestseller list for months now. In fact, at one time, #1 on the New York Times list.
The last time she landed this triple tone competition was in 1990, side by side with Sergei. Here, a look at her beautiful layback with a variation on the arms, something you did not see from Katya when she was a pair skater.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the technical marks for...
And now the scores for Ekaterina Gordieva. And as we said after the technical program, these scores are really not what it's all about as Katya skates.
9.7, 9.6, 9.6, and 9.7. The artistic mark.
Artistic marks.
9.9.
As we guess they might be 9.9. 9.8.
Michael Siebert being the choreographer of her program. She deserves these marks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Katarina Witt.
Katarina Witt next for her artistic program, skating Sister's Keeper, sung by the composer Susan Berman, who sent Katarina the music, written for the suffering women of the world, especially those in Bosnia. Kat, of course, won her first Olympic gold medal in Sarajevo.
I am my sister's keeper, her stories fill the page. 20,000 women raped, all prisoners of rage. In the temple of her body, hidden among the ruins, she's lying with the angels, sleeping with the angels, weeping with the angels. I am my sister's keeper, her voice without a scream, falling from the ceiling back into her dream. Nightmares made of soldiers, children made from wounds. She's crying with the angels, dying with the angels, mourning with the angels. In the calm of twilight, every breath she draws tends her broken body wrapped in silken gauze. Her face turned from the window, blind eyes open. She's breathing with the angels, praying with the angels, singing with the angels. I am my sister's keeper, following the tide. A piece of all that's sacred has surfaced from inside. I'm holding on to loving, I'm holding on to you. We are all the angels, sleeping, praying angels, singing, dying angels. They attune for the holy, for
professional program from Katarina Witt.
Katarina says she prefers shows to competitions these days. She calls competition pure stress, but does it to satisfy her athlete's heart. One wonders how much longer we'll see her in competition. And we'll return with Katarina's scores and the conclusion of the ladies' competition in just a moment. Welcome back to the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships. It appears the ladies' title will come down to Yuka Sato, the defending champion. Her skate in the artistic program, if she can best Kristi Yamaguchi.
Ladies and
They
gentlemen,
have yet to skate.
First,
let's check the scores of Katarina Witt, who a moment ago completed her artistic program.
9.6, 9.6.
I know she looks a little frustrated and not too sure about that, but she only did one jump. That 9.5 reflects the fact that she only did one double axel.
The
artistic mark should be higher.
9.7.
They should.
9.8.
Not sure what that 9.7 is. I mean, Katarina put her heart and soul into that number.
9.7.
Well, one wonders about the artistic judgment.
9.8.
And Katarina distraught as she drops to last place.
Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Kadavy.
Now here's the unheralded Karen Kadavy, skated very well in the technical program, looking for that one big breakthrough that she didn't have in her amateur career. Perhaps the music sums it up. It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion.
Triple loop. Karen has truly come into her own as a professional skater. She's tapped her confidence. She's tapped a side of her that Brian Boitano has really helped with. In fact, he chose this music for her.
If you touch me like this, and if I kiss you like that, it was gone with the wind, but it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back, it's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light. There were things we could never do again, but then they always seemed right. There were nights of endless pleasure. It was more than all your lost in love. Baby, when you touch me like this, when you hold me like that, it was gone with the wind, but it's all coming back to me. When you see me like this, and when I see you like that, then we see what we want to see, all coming back to me. The flesh and the fantasies, all coming back to me. I can barely recall, but it's all coming back to me if I forgive you all that, we forgive and forget, and it's all coming back to me. When you see me like this,
Well, I think that's the best I have ever seen Karen skate. She had a magic. You know what made this work? She believed in this number. She's been performing it all season. She's comfortable with it. She put it on automatic, and it worked.
Karen Kadavy with the performance of her life. Wow. This may be one of those Star is Born stories. And she's obviously delighted. She wants to kiss everybody in sight. Well, Yuka Sato must follow that. The defending champion has her work cut out for her.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the technical marks for Karen Kadavy.
Karen Kadavy, just overjoyed. Here are her marks.
Hugging her choreographer, Leanne Miller, who has really brought out her personality. And these marks really show that.
9.8.
And of course, the person who supports her the most, a big kiss from Brett, her husband.
9.8. 9.8.
I really thought we'd see more 9.9s here.
Actually, you know what, Tom? Those should absolutely have been higher. She has every right to be disappointed. There should have been 9 9s across the board.
You wonder if the judges weren't looking at her resume rather than her performance on the ice.
Well, they should have looked at the magic is what they should have seen, and nothing else but that.
Well, the skaters know how well she performed, and the one that has to follow her, Yuka Sato, is going to try to change the whole mood here. Skating to Brazilica, a really fast Latin beat. And the smallest things sometimes are troublesome. The costume is brand new. She only tried it on less than 24 hours ago, and the jingles on it were distracting her in practice.
Not only is the costume new, but the whole style of skating for Yuka is new. She was criticized last year for coming out with a very simple number that didn't challenge her, and this is what she decided. She wanted to skate to something that showed off her footwork.
Days when you don't feel good and everything looks so sad. When you get up from your bed, using your left foot not knowing what to do with your life. So you turn on the radio, looking for music. But you can only hear waste, waste, only waste. Then you return to bed and decide to pay a visit for the places you've never seen before. And so you walk, you walk. So you walk and walk. What does it mean?
I really like this number and this style on Yuka. She gets so much respect as a professional because she doesn't stick with the same formula. She's always pushing herself, trying something new. In this number, what makes the footwork so great, if you'll notice, she's always going against the edges. Her edge goes one way, all of a sudden the body is going another. It's very difficult.
What is this? We are in heaven.
Yuka Sato, her artistic program, Rosalind, was that strong enough to retain the title with Kristi Yamaguchi still to skate?
Well, she made a few mistakes on the jumps, but artistically, I think that's one of the best programs of the evening.
Is it a personal taste, though? It was a little unconventional.
But I think that's the push, that's the stretch, that's what makes an artist. She should get scored for that.
Kristi Yamaguchi slipping through the shadows to take the ice. Her artistic program will be the last program skated. Here are the scores for Yuka Sato.
9.8, 9.8, 9.7.
I don't think those will be enough to overtake Kristi Yamaguchi if Kristi skates a clean artistic program.
9.6 and
Especially with a 9.6 in there, though it is eliminated.
The artistic marks.
Now these marks should go up.
9.7.
I feel they should be higher than that. The number was lyrical, it was whimsical.
9.9.
It was very different than the other girls.
9.8.
That's what the judges want to see, something different, not the same material every year.
Well, they're obviously not on the same page. In fact, the score is ranging from 9-7 to 9-9.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristi Yamaguchi.
And so now Kristi Yamaguchi, the door left open for her to regain her championship with a clean artistic program. She's skating O Mio Bambino Puccini, the story of a young girl asking permission from her father to marry. She asks and gets approval and is thrilled, seeing life from a new perspective. First time for the program.
This number choreographed by Kevin Cottom, and it is a style that Kristi is very comfortable with. She is in her element, and here a triple flip. Well, I have no clue what she just did. She went to step into the jump. She didn't even try the jump. I've never seen Kristi. She didn't even attempt anything. Thinking, what have I done? Now she has to regroup and get the concentration back.
Was it a mental lapse, or were her skates not in the proper position, or just what was it?
That can happen. It's just a mental lapse. You get there, who knows why it happens? You get there, you don't know where you are. Again, this is an artistic program, so the missed, omitted triple flip doesn't matter. But what I'm sensing is this number has no depth. This is very simple for Kristi. The number was pretty, but I bet it had the spark and the energy of Yuka and Karen Kadavi.
I don't know how many times after a Kristi Yamaguchi performance we've said wow or great, and you don't feel moved to say that after this number.
She wants to keep winning these titles. She is definitely going to have to keep pushing herself artistically, and this number did not do that. We're going to take a look at the triple flip that really was nothing. I mean, she never even tried the jump. Just did a 3-turn and kept going. That's actually very rare and unusual, and when it happens, it's sort of a shock.
That's the weirdest thing.
You look like you lost your balance. You look like you was crazy.
It's like I almost forgot what I was doing.
Well, it was indeed a weird thing, and now with the championship on the line, here are the marks.
But you can tell she's a little shocked at that silly mistake on the triple flip.
9.7.
Marks are a little high. I mean, Yuka should have definitely been higher with the difficulty in her program, the footwork, the dancing. Again, this program was simple for Kristi. We'll see what the artistic marks do.
Very generous judging. And a 9.9, I'm shocked at that. Are they judging on reputation here or on performance?
I would say by those 9.9s, that's a reputation mark right there.
And again, a wide range from 9.7 to 9.9, but good enough to give Kristi the title. Here's Elfie.
Okay, Kristi, I heard you say that was the weirdest thing. Were you referring to the jump there or the missed jump?
Well, hopefully. Yeah, it was. I've never ever done that before in my life, and it was just like, I don't know what I was thinking. It just got away from me, and I didn't know where I was.
Obviously, you're happy to have the title back. Was this the way you expected to win your title back?
Not at all. I mean, with the level of competition here at Landover, it's always the best skaters professionally. They always put up a tough fight. I think I was very lucky tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Kristi seemed almost embarrassed as she claimed her 3rd World Professional Championship. Karen Kadavi actually won the artistic program. Yuka Sato skated well in the artistic program too, but because Kristi Yamaguchi had such a wide lead after the technical program, she takes home the overall title, especially in part to some generous judging on her artistic program. So Kristi Yamaguchi wins with Yuka Sato 2nd and Karen Kadavi finishing 3rd. And the men are still to skate. But when we come back to Landover, we'll take a look at the winning ice dancing performance of Torvill and Dean. Welcome back to Landover. The men's title still up for grabs. Will Brian Boitano win it for the 7th time? Or will Kurt Browning repeat, visiting there with his former training partner, Kristi Yamaguchi?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean.
But before the men's skate, let's go back and take a look at the winning artistic performance in ice dancing from Torvill and Dean. And you thought a hat trick was only in hockey. Torvill and Dean with their artistic performance that won for them their 5th World Professional title.
Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean.
Torvill and Dean besting Klimova and Ponomarenko, with Roca and Sur finishing 3rd. Warming up backstage, that's Kurt Browning, aiming to repeat as World Pro Champion.
And now we're ready for the showdown, the men's artistic program. And Brian Boitano, who has won this championship 6 times, sits in 3rd place, in danger of losing this title 2 years in a row. Can he come back?
Well, he's in a very different position of being in 3rd and having to fight for a title. Being in 3rd place hurts the ego. It hurts the confidence. He is skating to Music of the Night, which is a very comfortable program. It's not a stretch artistically for him. He is going to have to skate like lightning has struck him and get the crowd in the palm of his hand for him to reach both Victor and Kurt Browning.
Victor Petrenko is sitting there in 2nd place. Is he a threat?
Well, he has sort of a fun number plan, sort of a rooster, a goofy, silly number, which is fun to see from Victor. But, of course, Kurt Browning is going out. And Kurt Browning, even sitting in 1st place, he is not playing it safe. He is doing one of the most difficult numbers choreographed by an ice dancer. And, I mean, he knows that this number can work, and he is going to just skate his heart out tonight.
Here are the standings after the technical program. Kurt Browning with a 6/10 lead over Victor Petrenko. Brian Boitano 3rd, Rudy Galindo 4th, and Paul Wiley 5th and last place. An unusual spot for Paul. As they skate in reverse order, he will be 1st on the ice. His artistic program, if he chooses to accept this mission, it will be a tough one, redeeming himself after that technical program.
When you're sitting in last, you have nothing to lose. This is when all the stops, you go for it, as they say, and Paul knows how to face a challenge. Winning the silver medal in Albertville after a series of struggling performances as an amateur.
2 foot of that landing. Paul Wiley, and unfortunately for him, this whole competition has been an impossible mission. Not the vintage Paul Wiley.
He's capable of much more. I know he's very disappointed in himself. Here he opens up on a simple double axel, doesn't even really complete a single. And yet here he is at the end of the program with enough energy, 2 Russian split jumps into a side stag jump. But again, this will not win the artistic program.
Now the technical marks for Paul Wiley. 9.5.
What technical he said, and those scores pretty well reflect what he said. Not
9.4.
These marks are embarrassing, but you're right. What technical?
9.5. The artistic marks.
Artistic will be better.
9.7. 9.7.
They're better, but when you make mistakes like that, it interrupts the flow of the program. It interrupts the consistency of the moves. These are right on.
7 and 9.7.
Disappointing performance for the former champion. Next to skate, Rudy Galindo, who last year at 26 became the oldest national champion in 70 years. A long wait in a 15-year skating career to go from a might have been to a champion. Rudy Galindo makes some people uncomfortable. He is a reminder that not every year skating is conventional. He's finally competing in Landover with the best professionals in the world, including his former pairs partner, Christy Yamaguchi. 7 years ago, they were a team until Christy left him. Their parting was difficult for Rudy. For his dying father, it was traumatic.
My dad always kept on saying that he was trying to stay alive, to see me make the world or the Olympic team, actually. And that's pretty hard to go back home to the trailer and him sitting there, because he was pretty blind at the time, having so many strokes and being diabetic, to tell him that Chris and I just split up. And that's what he was living for. And to tell him, I think that was more devastating than the actual breakup. To see that tear stream down his face, and you know, my dad's some big truck driver, and you know, have that single tear come down, it was like I got really angry at the whole situation. So I said the best thing for me is to not to try to find a partner, because you can never find somebody as good as Christy. It was just impossible.
Impossible and unwilling to find a replacement, he discovered a strength and an ability in himself. After the death of so many who were close to him, his father, and to AIDS, his brother, and 2 of his coaches, Rudy finally became the skater he thought he could be with the help of a new partner, his sister.
No one ever expected Rudy to win. No one.
Laura became his anchor, his source of inspiration, his protector.
Rudy has been always very open. He's never hid the fact that he was gay. He doesn't go out and flaunt it. I look at him as a person. I don't look at Rudy as a gay man. I see Rudy as my brother.
I just think it's weird when people ask me about being gay, and I think, what does that have to do with my skating? You know, why are we different? I'm gay, yes, I'm happy. And then they have to throw in being Mexican. I'm proud of eating my tacos and burritos and where I grew up in the trailer. I'm just so proud of that. And it makes me even more proud of how I made it, growing up with no money and being gay and being Mexican, and to win a national title, I could say, hey, I did it, and you had to give it to me.
His is a life in which already much has been overcome.
Galindo.
And in his first World Pro Championships, Rudy skated well after the technical program in 4th place, but within striking distance as he skates to Babalu in this artistic program, the signature number of 50s band leader Desi Arnaz, the husband of Lucille Ball. In fact, you'll recognize the music as the Lucy theme.
This is a Ricky Ricardo production.
He may be a new professional, but he already knows how to work an audience and play with them. That's what they love. That was great. An awesome showing at his first World Pro Championships.
Rudy Galindo, a little encore. We'll have Rudy's scores, and the 3 leaders will skate when the World Pro Championships continue. Tom Hammond, Rosalind Sumners, Elfie Schlegel, Landover, Maryland, the World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Andy.
Rudy Galindo awaiting his scores as Brian Boitano was circling the ice.
For Rudy Galindo. 9.7.
Rudy was in 4th place after the technical program. In this artistic program, his technical marks are okay.
They're okay. He didn't do many jumps, but that's not where the focus of the program is. They should go up in this next set.
Now the artistic mark. 9.8. 9.9. 9.8.
Well, it appears the judges liked it.
9.8.
Most of them, anyway.
9.8 and 9.8.
Let's go to Elfie.
Rudy, how did you like your debut here in Landover?
Oh, it was a blast, and I feel like I skated really well, and I had such a good time. Now I could just finally just relax and have a good time.
Well, I think the audience accepted you as a pro skater.
It's great. The audience is just magnificent, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the energy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now Brian Boitano.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Boitano.
If he is to win his 7th World Pro title, he'll have to climb from 3rd place. He had wanted to perform a new Christopher Dean choreographed number here, but it wasn't as perfect as he wanted, so he switched to an old standby, Music of the Night, first performed in 1989.
The judges can look at this program 2 ways. It is not new, it is not a stretch for him, or because the fact that it is so familiar and so comfortable, that's usually when the magic comes out in the performance.
This program is so old that for some fans, it's new. They've never seen it.
But the judges have seen it before. They know Kurt and Victor have new material, new programs planned. What'll be interesting to see is if they mark this in a way that will bring Brian up from 3rd place.
And you'll live as you've never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall surround you. Feel it, hear it, closing in around you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind. In this darkness, the darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts on the world you recall. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin. Let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night.
This is Brian's house. He has owned this place 6 times. He's taken away the trophy. Was it good enough to move up from 3rd place?
Well, he fought back from an unusually difficult showing in the technical program, but that isn't necessarily what is going to win this championship tonight.
Brian Boitano.
He appears pleased with his performance. Sometimes those old shoes are the best ones. They feel more comfortable than any others, and certainly the pressure mounting on Kurt Browning, too.
So I always get 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the technical marks for Brian Boitano.
Victor Petrenko will follow.
9.9.
Good start.
9.9. 9.8.
Good marks, but remember, he's trying to move up from 3rd place. He's got a lot to overcome.
9.8.
Well, Brian's not used to these marks. The judges didn't give him anything higher because they know what Kurt Browning has in store, and they're saving the marks for Kurt.
9.8. 9.9. And 9.8.
So it looks as if it'll be up to Victor Petrenko to try to catch Kurt Browning. Elfie is with Brian Boitano.
Waiting time for you now, Brian, something you're not used to. What do you think?
Oh, I'm just glad that I skated well. I mean, I was so disappointed with how I skated in the technical program and making the mistakes. So I'm pleased that I really hit everything in this and I really skated it well. And I came back. That's a real important part of competition, is being able to come back and do it better the second day than you did it the first day.
Great finish. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Victor Petrenko.
Victor Petrenko trying to overcome Kurt Browning and skating his artistic program to a comic number, the Rooster. Dressed like that, I'm not sure I'd let him in my hen house.
Well, it's okay to do a comic routine in some competitions, but I'm not too sure about here in Landover with the quality of competition that you're seeing, especially with the program that Kurt Browning has planned. Again, to tell you the truth, I think this is more of a show program than even a competitive program.
Begin to howl. Dogs begin to bark. Hounds begin to howl. Watch out, strange can't little red roosters on the ground. If you see my little red rooster, please drive him home.
And yet in between acting like a chicken, he threw in a triple axel. Still trying to make the number competitive. think the audience is quite sure what to make of this from Victor.
Was the rooster enough to overtake Kurt Browning, or did it lay an egg?
Well, I think Victor's very talented. I think he's capable of much more than that.
Kurt Browning will be the final skater. And backstage, Brian Boitano rarely concerns himself with the other competitors. It would take a total Browning collapse for Brian to win. And this will be interesting to see how the judges rank the Rooster program of Victor Petrenko. Currently in second place.
Petrenko. 9.8, 9.8, 9.7, 9.8, 9.8, 9.7, and 9.8. The artistic
Brian Boitano may move into second place. In fact, it looks like Brian Boitano will pass Victor Petrenko. Despite a couple of 9.9s, he will overtake Petrenko to move into second. So now Kurt Browning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Browning.
His first championship performance was embarrassingly bad. Last year, he beat Brian Boitano for the title. It would be one of the great accomplishments of his career to repeat.
Here you're going to see a very original program choreographed by ice dancer Alexander Julin. Very clever body positions right there in the camel spin. Not something you see from any of the other men.
He looks so relaxed and confident.
Well, he's got that loose body that can get into any positions. That's what makes him so great. He does it with such ease.
There's a portion in this program where Kurt, traveling the world in his mind, is attacked by a snake. He says if you don't recognize it, he hasn't done it well.
Everything he's doing in this program takes such amazing body control. And in between, he can throw in a beautiful triple toe wally, the last jump we just saw. triple combination near the end of this program.
Kurt Browning displayed the best skating of his distinction.
Wow, he has skated 2 solid performances here at the World Professional Championships. He deserves the title. The most innovative program we've seen tonight.
And that performance will wrap it up. And there's Brian Boitano coming out. He never looks at the scores of the other competitors. This is highly unusual and perhaps a tribute to the programs of that man, Kurt Browning.
9.7.
9.8.
9.8.
9.8. 9.9.
There's a 9.9.
9.9. 9.7.
Well, the 9.9s were right on with all those triples in between all that unbelievably difficult choreography.
As Brian looks on. And
Hi, Alexander Zuling. Thanks for the great number. Everyone enjoyed it.
9.9.
Great.
9.9. 9.9. And 9.9. This concludes our competition. The award ceremony coming up. Please stay with us for that.
Kurt, last year you had something to prove. What about this year?
This year, I've just been enjoying skating. I'm finally getting back to why I went to the rink when I was 13 to begin with, which is to really enjoy it. I feel stronger over my skates, and when I skate, it's for good reasons, not for scared reasons. And it's easy to entertain and maybe even do some triples at the same time, and I'm really enjoying my life.
Congratulations on your second title.
Feels great, thanks.
so here are the final standings, and perhaps we've seen the passing of the torch as Kurt Browning, for the second consecutive year, defeats Brian Boitano for the World Professional title. Skating some of the best performances of his career, the night belonged to Kurt Browning and to Kristi Yamaguchi, who took another ladies title. Now Tom Hammond for Rosalind Sumners and Elfie Schlegel saying so long from Landover.
The World Professional Figure Skating Championships are brought to you by NutraSweet. Sometimes it's nice to have something sweet.